Hello, everyone. How are things? Trying to check for a few things here. Said one's in queue. Said one's in queue right now, so I don't know. Eventually it all kind of comes through. How's everybody Sunday? How's things? How's everything? I figured really we're gonna talk about the title and everything that comes with that, because I think it's kind of interesting. We keep getting odd comments. There seems to be a little confusion on what the definition that we meant for it actually is. What's going on, Fishing with Goran? John Cantino. What's going on, Daniel Wyatt? How are you? How are you, gentlemen, tonight on Sunday? Hey, Pierce. How's things? Give me a second. Come on, refresh. But if it's showing live for you, then it should show live for me. It's not. Yeah, it is showing live for me. Okay. All right. Would you believe that whatever it looks like on my phone is not how it looks like on the actual live streaming deal? Actually looks like dog crap. Kind of looks not great. If you will forgive me for 1 second, I swear, this is super inappropriate, like leaving the whole spot. I mean, but I will be right back because I think I could do something that'll fix the lag. Yeah, okay, I'll be right there. I swear I'm coming. I just have to be able to look at... Oh, okay. All right, so currently... Right, that was super awkward. I'm back. I'm back. Did it improve? No, it still looks like crap. Maybe it's just my Wi-Fi. How does it look like to you guys on the stream? How are things? Jason, how are you? What's going on, Jonah? How are things? Plastic tiny boat build. Oh, man. Yep. We're talking about 2021 strategies there, Jonah. We are going to do it. We're going to talk about it. All right. John, you got a 12-foot tiny boat? 12 foot what? What? This could also just turn into a giant Q&A tiny boat. Ultimately, we need as many likes as we possibly can get. So if there's 26 people in here, we need 26 likes. If we get to like 100 likes, we'll start giving stuff out. I figured, well, every 50 likes, we'll start giving out a few things. And then we will, we'll do it that way. Because apparently now likes really matter. It doesn't matter how popular you are, how many subscribers you have. If the lives are not getting likes, nobody will join them. It's kind of strange, but that's where that is. But anyways, on to the topic. Just kind of trying to see what you guys are up to. I haven't checked in with you guys for a while. Kind of been vacant most of the month of December. And yeah, just looking at the screen here, trying to read you while the phone is there. I probably should get like, I have a professional camera. I probably should just hook that thing up now. What's going on, John? It did. Only to you, huh? I wonder why. I have people complain to me why YouTube doesn't send out notifications about live streams to them, even after they've subscribed to the notification bell is hit. And I just want to tell you all, I have no idea. I don't know how any of this crap works. I just try my best. Try my best on what we can do here. But I am currently in the trailer. The live is looking worse and worse. It makes me wonder if I should just do this on a regular boat. But if you guys... What's going on, Matt? Oh, you're slamming the fish and staying warm down there. You know, it hasn't been too bad. How's the weather been for everybody else? Like, it was been really cold. And just recently, it was not so bad. recently, the past 2 days, I actually got some things done. I went outside and it wasn't like go back inside. I actually got a few projects done. I got my bait making station cabinet thing done. So that's done. Now I can like put stuff. My garage gets more and more credits. I got to make more and more storage ideas for it. So how's everybody's New Year? How's all that stuff? How's the Christmas? Christmas is whatever it is. The New Year was okay. On New Year's Eve, I caught, I kind of caught that fish on my bait, so I was able to post that video. I'm pretty obsessed with like the baits, but only if they catch fish. I've made a slew of other baits. They didn't catch any fish, so they never saw the light of video. 70+ degrees. Where you at fishing with Gorn? Where you at? 70 degrees, huh? I want to say that it was 70-ish here. I want to say, wish you were. Oh, okay. What's going on, Sean? And Jacob's in Yuma. Yeah, the weather is nice there. It's arguably the hottest there. Like, there's like 3 or 4 major cities, like 3, and they all right here in Arizona, and they all compete for which is the hottest, crappiest weather that you could possibly get in life. And Lake Havasu is up there, but probably not the winner. I think Yuma is hot. Yuma, take your breath away. Right next to El Centro, California. I used to be stationed down in El Centro. A little naval air facility right there attached to the town. It was like whatever. Hello from Tennessee. How are you? Lake Havasu is nice, Jeremy. It is the truth. It is the truth. If my house was a little bit bigger, I would be perfect. The house costs here are like, I might as well live in California. I'm lucky I got in the house I got now. They're like tripled in value. But it's small for like, and then my mother-in-law is now living with me. That's new for 2022. Got the mother-in-law who's living, I'm currently in my new studio though, by the way. What do you guys think? This is my travel trailer. So the travel trailer I bought it just as like we knew that things were going to really slowly but surely go down the tubes. And you needed to go, and if you're going to go and get something like this, you need to go now before it's astronomically high. Because what's going on, Robert Back? How are you? And so we went and got a fairly okay one. It's about as much as like as a compact car, small, like 25 foot. We went, I hauled it all the way up to Tennessee. I hauled a tiny boat in it, and then now it's sitting on the side of my house as my studio until it gets too hot. Then I have to move my studio in my house. It's just it gets too hot out here to manage it. But yeah, I'm leaving. I left my other studio. I rented out a studio for about a year. It's nearing up its contract here coming February or March. And part of my strategy is like having a static office is not good if you're a tuber or if you're a content creator. Unless you are specifically creating content for somebody else, then it's probably great. But I thought I was going to do all that, and it turns out trying to be like a filmmaker for people is not as cool as being a YouTuber. Or just being a content creator for like a whole audience like yourselves. Like having you guys as like a main client is way better than trying to cater and placate to somebody else who may or may not even come fulfill on their end. And really, I mean, the bigger deal is I saw like neighboring people. Some of these people have talent down here. And some of these film crews who film these events have talent, but I swear I could beat all these people with cell phones. If I took cell phones and some GoPros, I could beat them all. And then without any real camera. If I bring like a real camera to the event, or if I bring drones to the event, and I capture these videos, I post them to you, I show them to you guys. I don't actually get contract out or for any of that stuff, but I thought like, I guess theory failure for me was if I could produce better content than everybody else around me, that in and of itself would just drum up popularity. But I guess it's not really that. I guess theory failure for being a filmmaker is you have to hustle. You have to go out there and show your face, shake hands, meet people, wine and dine them. And that's just really exhausting. Especially like when I had like a major thing here, which is, the Tiny Boat Nation, which is, if we're talking about main clients, this is like the main client base. This is it. I have, yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like I got all this crap. Like you should see my desk. Like if I take off my phone, it might it's all studio-ish right now. You can't really see anything, but I'm gonna do a video, walkthrough video, like a 2021 year end review of everything I try to go through once because 2020 is when we really went for it, and then 2021, I really tried to do a lot of things. Some things I got blocked on, some things went really good, and some things I didn't quite great. But I guess the theory of failure was that if I would just beat everybody with superior content and just creativity, that they would just come, and it's not true. So really, to be a filmmaker, you have to go and hustle, and yeah, I told you guys all that, but I'm not going to do that because I'm too busy like trying to do that for this audience base. But the bigger thing though is the Tiny Boat Nation, our main thing, TB Nation Outdoors. That's like a real thing now. That is an actual company, and it has gotten quite big, thanks to all of you. And a thing about that is I have to it kind of had to become its own thing, and so I had to make the whole media side. I had to make my own media thing, and so now I have my own media company, but it's weird. Like I'll talk about it. Like I don't want to bore you guys to death with it, but I just want to tell you guys that's how it kind of things have kind of went. For 2022, it'll be interesting. It will. I also need a haircut. Just looking at myself, should have shaved my head before I came in. I started just cutting my hair off. I'm tired of like having hair, and it also I'm going bald, which doesn't look great in videos. Like you can see it. So what are you guys up to here? Michael Chapman, 57, 67 in Mesa. That's sweet. All right. Let's see here. Me and my family just got home. What's going on, the Real Superior? All right, give me 1 second for my family to go inside and the dog to stop going barking. Can you hear that? Can you guys all hear that? It's kind of going all nuts. You know what the thing about a travel trailer? Thin walls. I was going to make a little inside studio. I still might do it. Yeah, so the camper is serving that. Camper can't stay there forever. Maybe the mother-in-law will get better. Keith McDaniel, maybe. But I don't know. It's what you signed up for when you're married. You know, But anyways, back to like the actual topic. It's like, what is a tiny boat? Because if you just go by the definition of what it sounds like, you think it's just a small watercraft. And so that's what a lot of people are. And a lot of people try and strong arm us, like the crew, and maybe even some of you, about what that is. They see a lot of controversy about it on Facebook. It's a constant thing. And what I thought it was, and what I meant for it to be, you guys ever seen tiny houses? You ever seen like the tiny house? They're like custom travel trailers. These people are making custom travel trailers or custom mobile homes, whatever you want to call them. They're custom. They're custom built. They're not factory made. And they're really, really awesome looking. Like they got all kinds of crazy stuff that you're just not going to get the mainstream general public to put inside of a travel trailer like this. So, but they're only so big, 25 feet, 30 feet, 40 feet, which that's actually pretty big. But the whole thing is, if I have a travel trailer right now where I have a toy hauler, same thing. I can't call this thing a tiny house. I didn't make it. It's not custom, right? No, this thing is bone stock. I did a few little bootleg mods to it to get it along, you know. But other than that, this is not a tiny house. This is not a tiny house. That was the whole thing. A custom boat. So like everybody's really, really super concerned about boat length, like horsepower restrictions. None of that crap matters. None of it matters. It is all 100% about whether or not it's your custom build, and it can be as sophisticated or unsophisticated as you need. Like, are you building it, and are you catching fish? Is it catching you fish? Is it putting you on fish? Is it making your life better? Is it keeping you from stepping all over your like rods or stepping in puddles of water between the ribs? It's keeping your gear like organized. Like that's a tiny boat to me. And that can be 12 feet or that can be 22 feet. 22 feet's huge though, right? Like they don't even make a 20. It could be a 21-foot bass boat. Really, if you just full out custom gutted it, and that'd be really hard at that point in time. Like that'd be hard. That's why you don't see too many tiny boats that are like that big unless it's a John boat. We've seen some 2070 John boats, big monstrous things. Nate actually did one out of Illinois. Thing is awesome looking. It's got everything. If that guy cannot be happy in that boat, whoever's boat that is, you know, there's just no making some people happy. Anyways, we are 18 likes away from a Dobbins rod certificate giveaway. So if you like Dobbins rods, so I love Dobbins rods. Anybody who's really serious about fishing knows Dobbins and knows what their rods are. And I have like actual certificates or gift vouchers to give to people. Quite a few of them actually. Some of them will be going to the Slay Nation tournaments. And then, well, some can go to you guys right now. So for every 50 likes, we will go ahead and give some away. And possibly some hats. I got hats here. I have hats somewhere. I have like boxes of crap because I was clearing out my office. They're somewhere. They're like maybe in my garage. Those can, if you guys want to wait for a super awkward pause again, I'll go get the hats. And at 100 likes, we'll start giving away hats and vouchers. You just have to put up with like the awkward me, like it would be awkward like somebody shows up in the live and there's just like an empty seat. I gotta get like a bob, like a blow up doll. Like we'll be back soon. I'll like put it, you know, like where the, you know, instead of a shirt, it'd be like a paper that says I'll be right back. I don't know. There'll be a placeholder for when I have these awkward moments where I have to go get something. I don't know. Figure it out. I'll figure it out. Well, what do you guys think a tiny boat is? Do you think there should be weight limits, horsepower restrictions, boat length restrictions? Do you think the definition of a tiny boat should be restricted? Or do you think it being an awesome custom boat that you did, mostly custom, like you over 50% custom? Not you got a boat and you put like some custom rails on it, or you put a fish finder thing on. That's cheating. That's a little, it's like kind of blurring the lines. But I'm talking about you really did the work. You put in the work. You made it. Oh, Michael Chapman, a tiller, huh? Oh man, you're excluding a whole bunch of people who love center consoles and side consoles. I don't know how the audience is gonna feel about that. But I am about the tiller life. Clearly have not. I had a console boat one time, ripped it out. Couldn't deal with it. It's too much space wasted in a 16-foot boat. All that storage you could have when you just get rid of the console and sit down. So, but some people, like, I understand they don't want that. Some people are older. I find that the older that I get, the more these little like comforts and luxuries and amenities really matter to me. But when I was young, I didn't give a crap about any of that stuff. I'd be out there in a float tube. I didn't need nothing. I don't know. But definitely the older I get, the more my back hurts, the more my feet hurt. Yeah. Probably a console would probably be pretty nice. One of these days I'll get to it. All right, guys. I think we are 3 likes away from some Dobbins rod vouchers giveaway. Then that's not very much time. I got to think of something. What am I going to ask you guys? I got a good one. Building your own tiny boats right now. Building your own tiny boat right now. Nolan is building his own tiny boat. How many of you guys are building tiny boats right now? Like you got one on the side of the house or in the garage right now, and you're gutting it, and you're putting in the work. $16-foot or shorter, that's too small. And 50 horsepower max? 1650 max, huh? I mean, if we're being honest, Heath, that's like most tiny boats. Most tiny boats are not exceeding 16-foot anyways. But there's some out there that are 17 to 20 feet, John boats, aluminum boats, even some glass boats where people really did put in the work and they're pretty nice. So, you know, when you see a nice custom boat that somebody really just redid and made it their own, you know, my heart goes out to those people. Can't not call them tiny boaters. For real. Let me see. Just looking through comments here. Jeremy, how's it going? Benny Hops, how's things? Quixote? Quixote. I don't even know if I'm saying that right, but hey, how are you? How are things? Zach, Wilton, Josh, Mike Brinkley, Michael Barth. How are things, everyone? John R. All right, rebuilding a rear deck in a live well? Oh, the rear deck for the whole live well. Okay. 30 horsepower is the biggest portable engine. No. If you need more than a 30 horse, it's not tiny. Well, not by definition tiny, but all right. So there definitely is some discord among the audience on what it should actually be. But for me, if it's custom, it's custom. So, and really that rule stands to play because you're just really not going to find a whole lot of people who are going to have the time or the width or the actual boat to like modify anything really that's really much bigger past 16. You might see a Tracker 170 TX modded out or 185, and that's like it. Like, and those are like few and far in between. Like less than 1% of tiny boats are that big, but most people are at 16 or 14 feet. 14 foot by far is the most popular tiny boat. Oh dang, we're at 59 likes. Dang, you guys really kind of up that. You snuck that up on me. We were like 3, and all of a sudden it was like almost 6. We were 3 away, and now all of a sudden we're like 9 over. All right. Giveaway time. Dobbins Rods voucher. 40% off. 40% off Dobbins Rods. Right? I'm going to give away 3 of these. 40% off, which is great because Dobbins Rods are not cheap. And they shouldn't be cheap because they work extremely well. Right. So the question for you, the audience, is, so we were in Tennessee recently. So if you didn't watch that series, I'm so sorry. But for those of you who did watch the series, we have a guy, he's like the newest member of our crew. Who is he? He was never there before. But now he was there. He was there for that series. And he's here with us now. Who is he? Dang, some people just straight up left when I asked that question. All right, let's see what you guys got. Dang, Matt got it. No, that was really fast. I really thought that I would see some like answers, but okay, Matt got it. All right, Matt Shansley. Matt, you know who I am. Just message me, man. Let me know. Just message me. We'll talk. Adam was actually there, but he was there before like that, I think. He was part of us before Jeremy was. So, the DeWalt guy. Hey, John, are you in here? John would love that comment there, Wilton. Wilton, you get it. I want to give you a voucher just because that was awesome, but John wasn't here to watch it. That was great. All right. You get like the consolation voucher. You get it. That's funny. All right. Well, I'll ask it like an easier question. How big was the John boat in Tennessee? How big was it? What size? Like length and width. Not 18 feet, not 12 feet, definitely not. 16 what? There's always length and width that measures a boat for a John boat. It's a 16 what? Not 1648. Nope. The bottom beam width, guys. 1236, 1652. Dang, Matt got 2 of them. Matt, are you going to use 2 vouchers? Dang it. All right, Matt. Matt gets 2 vouchers. Okay, I'm gonna give away more than 3 because Matt soaked up 2. And Matt clearly has done his homework, and I think you probably answer all these questions before. So Matt, I'm going to ask you to this one. You got to give these people a chance. Just like let the audience have this one. And I'm gonna ask another question here. Okay, Nate Eckold, which is. You guys should know Nate. You know, his name's actually trending right now. which is a pretty big deal. So let's talk about him here. His boat, that gunmetal gray boat with the yellow camo turf. That was not Chris's. No, that was not Chris's boat. It was Nate's boat. How big? What size and width is that boat? His boat has been in a few videos. It's not new to YouTube. No, it's not 14 foot. It's like, okay, I'm going to give you guys a clue. It's a very big boat. It's big. It's not that big, though. It's not 1872. No, it's not that. No, not 1648. Closer. We're getting closer with the 1648, but it's not quite that. It is an aircraft carrier. Not an 1860. No, it's not 18 feet. "16 times don't fall out." I can't accept that, but that's really good. 2072? Man, you guys really are generous here. Nope. No. Okay, I'm going to give you guys a clue because I was like a lot of people. It's 16 feet long. It is not 18 or 17 or 12 foot or 14. It's 16 foot long. So 16 needs to be in front of that number. Okay, Kyoto, you got it. Dang, Kyoto, you were almost outcompeted by Dan. Dan Handcuff was right there. You know what? The two of you can both get one. Dan Handcuff. Is that your actual last name? That's dope. And Kyoto. Sorry if I'm pronouncing it wrong. You two can get it. You two can get the vouchers. Okay, so how you recover these vouchers is you message us. It's better if you message me on Instagram. Hopefully you guys all have Instagram. Message me directly saying, "I'm so-and-so. I won voucher from tonight's live. My name is this. My address is this. I won the Dobbins Rogers gift voucher. Gift voucher. You won that." And then I will put that all out and get them all out to you in the mail. Pretty simple to mail out. It's just like fits right in an envelope. And then you'll get the envelope. We'll send you some instructions also on how to complete it. And then if you guys, like when you guys get the rod, send us a picture. And if you also catch a fish on it, send us a picture. We will for sure highlight you in somewhere. We'll definitely. What's going on, Sycamore? How are you? Alice Up Outdoors. Hey, message me, man. We'll talk. Message me about it. All right. All right. That was 3 of them. Okay, so we are approaching the 100 like quadrant. We'll start giving away hats and some more vouchers at 100 likes. So we're going to go ahead and open this up for a Q&A. Because yeah, what the actual subject matter that I had to talk about really only took a few minutes. But if you guys want to keep the live going and we get to 100, we'll go ahead and answer some questions until we maybe or maybe not get to 100 likes. And but right now I'd like to see what you guys have as far as questions, because the Q&As are pretty awesome whenever we're all here. The giveaways are also quite hilarious. You look at all those numbers. Look, you guys are giving away barcodes for like a prison sentence. You know, like the prison inmates, 1660, 1840. It's like, never mind. All right. No offense to anybody who was like a former inmate. All right. Why don't I try a fiberglass build? All right. That's a good question, Brianna. We are going to try a fiberglass build. In fact, we are. So our crew is actually pretty. We have Jeremy. I wish Jeremy was here right now to help me out. Jeremy is actually the newest member of our crew and does nothing but fiberglass. He's out of Illinois. He's with 24/7 Boats. I'm not sure if that's his actual. His actual company's called something else, but he's part of us. We're trying to get him in the network. You know, the hardest thing that I've struggled with, like the whole crew, with the exception of like 4 of them, is media presence and doing what we're doing right now, like being very live and active. Some people just don't want to do it. Some people could be bothered too because their priorities are somewhere else. John doesn't have this problem though. John is a YouTuber like me. So, but so Jeremy's kind of in the he's kind of in the background, but we're trying to bring him up front, and then he's going to be answering all the glass questions. hopefully we can get an editor or somebody down there to grab what he's doing, because he's just a big giant wealth of knowledge. And later on when I do try to, you know what I want to do? I want to do a fiberglass kayak. I want to take care of both of them. I want to cold mold a kayak out of fiberglass and foam and just see how it does. I mean, that we got glass, we got resin, we have a West Marine, we can buy it all, or I can just order it all on Amazon, or we can possibly get it on the store. I mean, projects for 2020 seriously need to be whatever you guys want it to be. So the budget build, we have everything for the budget build. That thing is coming. That series is coming next week. We have like one more video lingering around from Tennessee that we're going to leak tomorrow, because I just need a filler video, and also some product information pushed out for you guys. But the budget build, that video, we're going to be pretty serious on that one. So we've actually already started some. Can you use liquid nail for stringers? No. No, you can't. Liquid nail shouldn't be in a boat. There's just some things that can't go in a boat. Liquid nails is like one of those things. No. All right, you guys started asking questions? Okay, here. Need more tiny boat tournaments in Arizona, Patrick. Patrick, do you want to be a director? Because if you want to be a director, man, tiny boat tournaments can come to you. But like, it's, you know, the tournament scene is so unique. You have to have the motivation and the brain for it. I personally, I am never going to run a tournament ever. Like, me specifically. Michael Chapman, are you seriously an inmate? I'm sorry. Like, that was just a joke. I mean, like, the number. My bad. Dang. Okay, so I gotta watch what you say on live. All right. Look, what are we couldn't hear? Can I compete as a director? I don't see why you couldn't. I think that, yeah, you can. You just have to have somebody, you just have to have somebody that'll vouch for you, and that somebody that's kind of, I don't know, it's I'm sure you do. A smaller tourney is the director, like, who's just going to host a tournament and then not go and fish themselves? I think all the directors for the Slay Nation tournaments also, they do fish. So the bigger thing for tournaments, anyways, where I'm getting with that, before I got distracted, is we are sponsoring a tournament series called Slay Nation HP. So Slay Nation, if you look at SlayNationTournamentFishing.com, I don't know why he made the URL so long. You have to type that whole thing in. So if you guys are on a phone with thumbs, I'm sorry. I think if you just type it, Google pops it right up. It's SlayNationTournamentFishing.com, and we are officially sponsoring them. Like, we've been an advocate of them for a while, but I mean, they were kind of doing their own like electric thing for a while, and recently we spoke with them, and they opened up to a tiny boat circuit. So there actually is a boat length and horsepower restriction cap there. But it's fairly generous. Like, it soaks in the whole realm. I think it's 18 foot 70 horsepower max, 18 foot length. But anything underneath that with a motor, you can go out and jam out. And that's pretty good, because most of those boats aren't really reaching past 40 miles an hour. So it's a little bit more fair that way. But they have it all set up. They've had people that have been testing it for a while. The biggest trail for that is out of California, out of NorCal, ran by Jacob Bueno from JMB Fishing. So actually, if you go to tvnationhp.com, that is actually, if you go to tvnationhp.com right now, it should redirect you right to that deal. I should have actually just bought a URL that said SlayNationHP.com, but I thought if I bought TV Nation, it would catch more. But TV Nation HP, I've done it out in a few videos. I probably posted out over a 10 video campaign. But if you guys really want tournaments, I would go there, because they are doing it. They got nationwide clearance. They're currently looking for directors. They have infrastructure. They have insurance. They have things that I will never be able to offer you. But we have wanted to do that. We wanted to connect people on a more grassroots movement to do that. We think, you know, tournaments are very much a big thing of communities. And, you know, we have like X amount of Facebook groups that are Tiny Boat Nation related, and we don't talk to any other directors. We're pretty bad. We're really bad at that. Really bad. Part of that is my just disgust with Facebook, but a lot of that is just because I should do a better job. Okay, let me see some questions here. You see a Boston whaler. A catfish boat is coming. A catfish boat is coming. It is second in line. But I have the hull for it. So it is going to get done. When it gets done, I don't know. By the way, guys, if you guys want hats to get given away, hit that like button. And I will go awkwardly leave the chair again and go get some hats. All right. A fiberglass flat bottom skiff. I had one. It was a Carolina skiff. I messed it up in the Laughlin River. I destroyed it. Because that river is serious. It almost took my life. Definitely took at least one boat. Trying to chase big striper. I gave it up. I couldn't do it no more. So, all right. Got a boat left to you, Benny Hops. Have a title for the boat, but nothing for the trailer. No. Well, it depends on the state. Some people don't even have a boat trailer title. Like, I forget where it came from. I bought a boat off somebody, and I was like, where's the title for the trailer? He's like, they don't even do that where we're at. Like, I mean, it's just considered part of the whole boat package, which makes the most common sense, right? Like, why would you really... But, so it just varies from state to state. All right. Giant difference in price between the portable outboards for sure. The 25 and 30 horsepower outboards have the biggest price shift, and I'm not exactly quite sure why. They also have the biggest upshift in weight. Like the 25 and 30 horsepower Mercuries are not really appealing as far as like what's being put out there that's new. I think the new 25 horsepower Yamahas are pretty serious. Let me see. Oh, you can also register it as home built trailer, but there has to be evidence it's a home built trailer, meaning that you might have to modify it. So if whoever's like registering can visibly tell that there's modified, like there's like you tell like DIY weld marks versus professional serious weld marks, like kind of make it look like you homemade it, and then it does it. You got to have to make it look homemade. If you get like a trailer that's clearly like stock built and nice, and you just scrape the serial number off and hope he doesn't see it, that they'll call you out on it. They will do it. It's a real thing. And I have to do this with at least 3 trailers. It's a very good topic. Down here in Arizona, if they really made it convoluted, you have to go to the website and figure out how to do it. Like, they don't make it easy. It's kind of saddening. What's going on, AZ Longtails? How are you? Oh, Jeremy Wakefield. Here he is. Okay. What's better, Wilson Scott? I mean, unless you're running super skinny water, or you're running swamps or small ponds or I'm talking about like small bodies of water that don't, where like if it gets really windy or stormy one day, the waves aren't going to ruin your boat. Like there's some small bodies of water, a few acres big, where 2-foot white caps are the max. I mean, a John boat's fine for that. Like, but I think for anything that's bigger than that, a V-hull is pretty necessary. Yeah, I would just swing for the V-hull. Most of them draft pretty shallow. The smaller ones, the 14-foot V-hulls and all, most of them draft about as shallow as a John boat. Maybe not in the front, obviously where it sinks and tapers in, but for the majority of the boat, they still draft pretty shallow. But if you need absolute shallow draft and clearance, then the John boat is unbeatable. What was that? That phone? Okay. All right. Is the budget build next? Noah, yes. Yes, the budget build is next. I have it. I already started working on it. I just haven't published any videos on it. And, well, Benny Hops, if it's clearly if the trailer is clearly modified, like you clearly did something to it, like in Arizona, there's a rule, like it's a rule to it. Like you, if 30 or 40% of the trailer is modified or something, there has to be a certain percentage of the trailer that's modified, like you got it in resalvage, like you actually got it and fixed it. That way you can legitimately claim it as a salvage trailer, like it was trashed and you just fixed it and not recertifying to get a bond. It's deader. Do I prefer a professional job over spray paint? Heck yes, Nolan. A professional paint job is awesome. Why do I spray paint? Because I don't have any means to professionally paint. You can professionally paint by tipping and rolling and tipping. It's just a huge pain. It's huge. It's big monstrous pain. But you can do it. You can do it that way. And we have done it that way, and that's about the most professional you can actually get without using a spray. Otherwise, you got to do all kinds of stuff. You got to have the ventilation for it. You have the space to paint. Like, you ever seen somebody professionally paint a boat? It's in a super, like, nothing in the room, serious ventilation. They're wearing a suit. They're wearing a respirator. They got stuff around, and they spray it. They spray away. So, or they do it outside, which outside is a little bit more risky for obvious reasons. But a climate controlled space is really needed for a lot of professional paint jobs. But if you can have the money for it, I would swing it. Professional paint jobs are pretty awesome. We're also going to start selling wraps on the site, and that'll be pretty cool too. So we'll be talking about that. All right. Northern Tool has a nice trailer. Harbor Freight also has a nice trailer. For any boat that's like 14 foot or smaller, that trailer will work. Not for much bigger than that though. Like, but the Harbor Freight trailer works. It does work. All right. Okay, so Chris H. Those lighted bunks you showed, can they go over the carpet? Like, you don't want to take the carpet off? The carpet, Chris, is likely just held on by staples. If you get some needle nose pliers and you go and you just grab those staples and you jerk them right out, or you get a screwdriver and wedge it in there and pry them out, that'll come out. You can also just get a utility knife and cut around the staples and cut the bulk majority of the carpet off, just maybe leaving the bottom stuff, because it's always stapled on the bottom, and then just slide those Gatorback trailer bunks right over those. You could light it up. But I would not keep the carpet on and then put bunks over the carpet. There's like a bunch of problems associated with that. But they're generally not glued. The people who are making trailer bunks are too cheap to like put actual glue to preserve the carpet. So it's generally they're pretty poorly made. What do I think about swing tongue trailers? I have one. I think they're awesome. But mine flexes and it scares me. So if I didn't absolutely need it, I wouldn't have it. But fold-away trailer tongues, I think probably the welded ones. Fulton makes a bolt-on fold-away trailer tongue, and that's the one I have. So where I cut my trailer tongue and put a bolt-on one, but you just got to have some really strong drill bits that'll drill through, thick gauge steel, and some hardware that'll push those bolts in, and it doesn't ever move. That's pretty serious. All right, Matt, on the topic of bunks, do the hair gator bunks ever cause the boat to slide too much? No. No, they're actually pretty grippy. Like, you would be very surprised. When the bunks are dry and the hull is on there, they really kind of grab the hull. They really don't just slide right off. Even with Gator Glide. Like, you would be surprised. You would be surprised. Harbor Freight has a 10 by 20 foot carpet that you can enclose in plastic. Oh, carport. Oh, for painting? Yeah. I didn't even think about that. They do have a 10 by 20 foot carport. I was just going to get one of those because I'm tired of my boat being in the sun. But you could totally make that a paint booth, I would think. Yeah, it would trap all the overspray. Look at that, guys. That's pretty. Give a like for the $100 Harbor Freight 10 by 20 foot carport. Okay, let me see. Jacob Meyer was going. Is it possible to bring your 79 gas into Lake Havasu for proper measurements? Yeah, man, if you want to stop in, if really, if any of you guys want to stop in and hit me up, like if you want to stop by and say hi or whatever, yeah, I don't care. People know where I live. Like I'm if you drive down my road, I'm unmissable. My truck just says, "Hey, look at me, mother freaker." Like everybody knows where I live. So I got to be super nice when I drive. Even when somebody cuts me off, I can't give them the finger or threaten them because I come burn my house down later. They'll know, they'll know where I live. So also, would you recommend welding the frame instead of using rivets? Like, if it's 1/8 or thicker, yeah. I mean, you can't really weld 1/16 inch aluminum, and that's a pretty big hot topic that I wanted to do a live on for a while. But I need like John and some other and Nate and maybe another person, because there's people in the tin can crew who weld, but they all universally agree that welding 1/16 won't work. Not for what we do. That's why you see those guys still use rivets for a lot of it. They do weld a lot of stuff though. Like Nate welds like 1/8 inch tubing frame. A lot of stuff is welded and or stacked. So, but for what I do, I don't weld. For the kits that I promote, the Gen X kits are specifically made to be riveted. And not because rivets are necessarily any better, but by the time it's 1/16, you can't weld it and then grind the weld. It's too weak. At that point in time, a rivet is stronger than a weld. So in order for it to work, you would have to, and John is in here, you can probably vouch for this, you would have to leave the full bead on a weld of 1/16 inch angle or tubing or whatever for it to actually be strong enough to not fail over time. And that's just not going to work for the majority of what we do when we try to put stuff flush. When we try to put compartments together, put anything together, put the deck on top, it has to be flush. So flush mount rivets, countersink rivets. I don't even like countersink rivets, but really there's only so many ways to do it when you're running with aluminum mat. Then when you're trying to microframe, a lot of the people in the crew, they don't microframe though. It's all 1/8 inch or thicker, and I think at that point in time, welding makes complete sense. Because at that point in time, welding actually makes, if you can weld 1/8 together, the frames don't weigh that much. Because you're not overlaying anything, you're not having to level out anything. So yeah, if 1/8 inch aluminum is probably a lot more abundant than 1/16 architectural grade for sure. JDS Outdoors, JBV Outdoors, all these outdoors individuals up in the chat. Jeremy S. What about the dry hatches? Is that not 1/16? The Gen X dry hatches are 1/16. And they're actually really strong because they're tubed 1/16. The Nate's dry hatches are not 1/16. They are 090 or 1/8. They are... No, we actually started selling 1/16 inch actually aluminum hatches, and we're going to demo them they're going in the budget build. By the way, we need to get them on. But yeah, we're having those. Those are a little bit lighter, but normally Nate's dry hatches sit in dry tracks. Those dry tracks I think are 090 or 1/8. They're extruded 1/8 or they're extruded at 090. I can't remember. It's right there. They're right there. But 090 can also be welded too, and grinded down, I think, without causing too much problems. I think 090 is actually the thinnest that you can weld and grind without running into serious problems long term. And that is, I think, a unilateral consensus for quite a few of us who've been doing this for a number of years. What about, okay, let me see. Any high quality cutting fluid? I don't use any cutting fluid, but you can. I just get new blades. Tap Magic for drilling. Tap Magic, huh? I'll look into that. Let me see. Oh, it definitely would not rivet a trailer together, Dan. No. That was a terrible idea. Wouldn't you just... Okay. I mean, the argument, Matt, it just depends on how complex your frame is. Wouldn't you just use less frame with 1/8 welded? Yeah, well, yes and no. I mean, the overlap at 1/16, you can overlap 1/16 together. and the 1/16 overlap is not terrible. It really is. Yeah, I don't know, man. The whole, yeah, I don't know, John Canteen. I don't really, I don't know. Like, I think some audiences, a lot of people watch the lives, and some audiences, I think it's just the audience demographic. I believe if you have a younger audience demographic, I think that's where you see a lot of subs and you see a lot of people on live. But I mean, our lives are really only 50 to 60 people, sometimes only 30. It's all good. We still do them. The people who want their questions answered or want to have a discussion come. So the core audience comes. But yeah, but anyways, back to Matt's deal. 1/8 inch welded frames. I mean, yeah, they're nice. A lot of people do them. A lot of people still do them. Benny Hop's the structural welder. If you're a structural welder and you know how to weld aluminum, man, do it up. Do it up. And you probably can find 1/8 inch aluminum at a local metal shop for like probably pretty cheap. It was 1/16 inch tube. Is that why it was so light, John? I could have sworn that. So that why it was so light? I was very taken away by how light it was. I was like, dang. So that was 1/16 inch tube, huh? Okay, so the reason that worked is because you had welding in the inside corners, and you had gaps for the. Okay. Yeah, that's some complicated crap. I don't know if I can really talk about that and it make a whole lot of sense. You have to go watch the videos. Adam Ryan has really, really super dedicated videos for that stuff. Yeah, the best place, honestly, to find a boat probably is Craigslist. If you're looking for a used boat, probably Craigslist. It used to be Facebook Marketplace until the Zuck came and added it up and started making it all kind of eBay-ish, real suspect. So, yeah, that's probably not going to work. Okay, filler metal. Well, you guys got some stuff going on there. So, cool. People answering each other's questions in the chat. JVB, I don't actually do people's boats. I spend too much time creating content and making content, and I can never do somebody's boat again. Like, that's not mine. That I don't have unlimited time and unlimited leeway to do. But I am gonna make these boats and give them away, though. I can only use 1.5. So look for some boat giveaways once they're done. Like all the boats in my yard are gonna be given away. I'm tired of looking at them. Any pointers? I'm mounting spotlights on my boat. They're really easy, Michael Chapman. Like, I just drilled one hole. Try and, if I can only give you 1 point, try and put them where black mat is, because black mat will suck up the light that will glare into your face once they're facing out. Because I have like the gray gator skins on there, and it just gleams off and shines. I have to like hold my hand up to see. But I think night lights are invaluable. Like the other night, I would have crashed into buoys and ultimately wrecked my boat in 40-degree weather and died. That was just like the other night. But night lights saved me. All right. What's going on, Gomo? That's your actual name? Man, they're gonna. Are you actually like trending? Like they put a ban on that word. I can't even say your name because it'll thwart the actual ability for this live to go. You could straight up call it that, huh? Well, I hope it's going good. But hey, okay? So K&L Outdoors. I really like a 16-foot Alaskan style hull. I think that is the best tiny boat. I think that's the best tiny boat. You guys can feel free to disagree. But out of all the small boats I've ever owned, I really like the Alaskan style hull. Like a Lund or a Smokercraft or an Alumacraft Alaskan style hull. Those are the nicest ones. What would I cover wood with? I would cover wood with marine vinyl, like that cheap marine vinyl that Trucker uses on their boat decks. That stuff covers wood and preserves it actually much better. We always used to do it with carpet, like marine carpet, but what that does is actually probably speed up the process of wood decomposition because it just holds water. The carpet does. It looks nice, but it just holds water. We used to just dress it up so you wouldn't see the wood frame like that, and it's really actually a terrible. I've come to the consensus that's terrible. People still actually do it and like it, but I actually have a wood core frame in my boat. My boat also has a 60 horsepower motor, and my boat also has a 60 horsepower motor, and the bulk majority of the frame around the wood core is all aluminum, and you know, I'm flying 30 plus miles an hour. I don't have any problems out of the wood frame. They still got a wood core. It's got a redwood core with aluminum under supports. Still today, it's still pretty epic. So but it's also wrapped in marine vinyl. But I did not have the best luck with wood frames when I wrapped them in carpet. What makes a good handheld rechargeable spotlight? I don't know. It's out of my scope of expert. If you could even call this expertise, that's totally out of my scope of. Like, I would just go to Walmart and find something, or probably Home Depot probably has something. Good. What's my opinion of the Sun Dolphin 120 Pro? A lot of people like it. I've never personally tried it, but a lot of people say that it's ultra stable, and they love it for what they do. I'm actually gonna go look for a Pelican Bass Raider. I'm gonna put a poll. I'm gonna put a poll. Be like, what would you guys rather see? A modded out yak, modded out Pelican Bass Raider? Because plastic boats, seeming the audience is pushing me toward a plastic boat. You know, you guys are my main clientele, so I guess if you want to see the plastic boat mod, we're gonna do it. I'm actually kind of, when you guys get excited about it, I get excited about it. So I saw them at Cabela's the other day, and if I didn't have my wife's car and I had brought my truck, I would have bought one. Would have brought one and brought it back. And I would have cut it open and cut it open for you guys. And so really have to go back to Phoenix again. So when I go back to Phoenix, I'm going to go back to that Cabela's, and we're probably going to get it. We're probably going to get it. It will be a novelty item. You were right. You were right. But really, if you're going to be... I can't do things that I only think are functional. If you have just a utilitarian style way of thought, I mean, that's nice, but ultimately what the audience wants, they're going to get. If they want to see a plastic boat modded out, or they want to see a kayak modded out, I'm going to have to do it. And I've begged and pleaded with them to not want it, and so they still want it. Like, you saw that Johnny Boat video is a 1 out of 10 video in my analytics for YouTube. It's beating all my other boat videos. It's kind of embarrassing. I didn't put any effort into that video. I took an iPhone and recorded all that. Oh yeah, and some GoPros. It took me like an hour to shoot that, and a few hours to edit it, and it like beats all my boat videos. Makes me kind of sad inside. Makes me a little sad inside. So what it does show is that you guys like kayaks and plastic boats, so I like being a YouTuber. I really don't want to go back to doing a day job. So plastic is probably going to happen, Michael. I'm sorry. It's probably going to happen. You have an 01 Tracker Pro Team? Yes, it's worth rewiring. Yes. Yes. Yes, it is. Hold on. Give me 1 second. I'm sorry. I'm trying to like... This is really super awkward. My phone is... I hate my phone. Don't get a Droid. I just need to... I need to ask something real quick to my wife to handle, and I'll be right back on. Okay. All right, guys. Back to it. Hardy Simmons got a 14-foot B bottom, 53-inch wide at the top or bottom. Looking for a kit with rod locker. What's the overall capacity of the boat? I need overall safe working capacity and bottom width. Those things are all super important. Okay. Which complete kit do I recommend? Well, it just depends on how capable the boat is. Because some 14-foot boats, if it's a true 53 inches like wide at the bottom, 14-foot boat, like sometimes they have 14-foot Alaskan style hulls that are capable of like 40 horsepower outboard motors. Those are very capable. At that point in time, you can do a lot more to that boat versus the standard 14-foot boat. But the standard 14-foot boat, if it's a standard 14-foot boat, standard thickness, I'd always recommend like a Gen X kit, or we have these ultralight hatches that Nate just put out that are made of 1/16. You can do those too. But generally, I mean, we made Gen X kits specifically for 14-foot boats. We don't put them in 16-foot boats. We can, if you really want a super ultralight 16-foot boat that's running a low horsepower motor. It's not going to be going too fast. But ultimately, we made Gen X kits for 14-foot boats. And then you can actually make whatever you want. You want 3 dry boxes, 5 dry boxes, 6, 10, or only 2. Those are really made to cut, and you don't really have a clear-cut mindset on how you're going to do it. Like that just gives you raw material just to experiment and play and do with whatever you need. You have, okay, so what's going on? Gomo, you got to leak your rivet. Stays with water in bottom. You use G-Flex. If you're having constant leak and G-Flex didn't work, I would try to retighten the rivet. I would get an air hammer and a bucking bar, and I would really try to retighten that. By the way, we're only 20 likes away from giving away hats. Think about that, guys. 71 people in the chat. Only 20 likes. Only 20 likes needed for hats. But yeah, I think a subfloor would take care of that. And if you're okay with the boat leaking a little bit and you just need to go and run back to an auto bilge every once in a while, but you just want to stay dry, a subfloor, I think a subfloor is like third in line. Like obviously for you prepping the boat, you prep the boat, you gut the transom, and then the subfloor is right after the transom. I think a subfloor is crucial. First mod you should do to the boat, not restoring the boat. You restore the boat by putting in a new transom, but like actual first mod to the boat should be a subfloor. And then you can think about whatever you want to put on after that. AlumaWeld sports skiff. AlumaWeld makes AlumaWeld. I've never seen that boat company. Sounds nice though. Is it a new company, Dan? I've heard of Allweld and AlumaCraft. Never heard of AlumaWeld. So it's a new one. Okay. You know what? I should put my camera over here. That way you guys aren't constantly looking at the side of my head. Like, hold on. Because the comments are over here. That's not any better. That looks worse. Hold on. No. More light. Whatever. Do you guys care about this? I just like I'm looking at the live feed. It looks terrible. You guys just looking at my side of my face. So I just want to like, at least this way I can look at the chat and I can like see you guys. What's going on, Dan? You see. What's going on? Hey, thank you guys for the super chat. Green Barrett. M4A3. Is pour foam necessary on a boat or can you remove it? Are you going to like put it in a different area? Green Barrett? Because yeah, it's really necessary. You shouldn't remove it unless you're going to put it somewhere else that's functional, or you're going to put more. I would actually advocate for more of it, not less. Yeah. No, I'm very, very much against taking out foam to add storage. It would be super irresponsible for me at this point to advocate for that. But but you can totally rearrange where you put the foam at. as long as it meets the same circumference and like, you know, area mass, you can do that. And there's definitely different ways. Like you can put your compartment in and then foam around it, a 2 or 3 inch wall around it, and then put it other places. You can add styrofoam sheets, but preferably like pink or green foam board sheets that are truly mold resistant. There's different ways, but the same amount or more foam needs to go into the boat than what you initially had in it, for sure. For sure. Okay. All right. All right. A lot happened when I was talking. When I moved the phone, I got to catch up here. Hey, Sycamore, how you been, man? What gauge? Okay, Andrew, what gauge wire do you use? Recommend for a 12-volt trolling motor? Under 5 feet, 8 gauge. Over 5 feet, 6. But you should ultimately look at the instruction manual. They will tell you right there. They generally do tell you. If you look up the schematics online, they will tell you. But that's a general good rule of thumb. Sometimes you can get away with 10. If it's under 5 feet for a 12 volt, sometimes you get away with 10 gauge. Like 10 gauge wire comes out of a 12 volt trolling motor. Those leads are 10 gauge. They're not 8 gauge, not 6 gauge. They're 10. So sometimes if it's a really short, like your battery's gonna be like right there, then you can get away with 10 gauge. So it just depends. And sometimes it'll say under 5 feet, 10 gauge, over 5 to 10 feet, or between 5 and 10 feet, 8, and then anything over 10, 6. So it just depends on the output. Some 12-volt trolling motors actually require more amps than a 24-volt of equivalent size. It's constantly because you're overpowering them to get the max motor. Because 12-volt motor, people are generally trying, those things are constantly on high to get where you need to get. So, okay, Joshua Vong, do I think it's worth the time to do a full tear out? Yes, I do. I mean, what kind of bass tracker? Like pre-Johnny Morris, or post-Johnny Morris bass tracker? Like they did improve in quality. They did. There's a point in time where they were terrible and you didn't even want to touch one, and I don't know, there's mixed reviews. The one bass tracker I redid, I hated it, but then I redid a Tracker V18. Love that thing. I guess the luck of the draw. You got to really kind of look at it and tell. All right. Chris Wilson. What's going on, man? Hog Island skiff plastic hull. 16-foot plastic hull? Somebody makes a 16-foot. I have got to look at this. This is where I need that StreamYard fancy stuff so I can show you guys this too. I'm just going to really quickly look at, what is it called again? Hog Island skiff. All right. Images. That's plastic. It's a drift boat. That doesn't look plastic to me. That looks not plastic. That looks like a double-hulled aluminum boat. Maybe I searched it wrong. Maybe I searched it wrong. If I searched it wrong, I'm sorry. Let me see. Okay. Chowder does games. Going off the tracker, only 17. All right. Have a little wiring experience. How does it to fully rewire somebody with little experience? If you watch my videos, like my most updated new ones, really, they're not that bad. Not that bad. But I make an almost hour-long tutorial explaining pretty much everything. And then I have some shorter ones still kind of explain the process. And so it's not terrible. It's more about how awkward is the boat. Like, is it running wire through all these awkward channels that are really hard to take off? Are you going to have to redirect wiring? Can you add wiring through the conduits that exist? Like, making clear wire channels that are safe. And then if you're open boats to rewire them, you might actually be horrified at what you find and what people used to get away with. Like I used to be like, how can people get away with this? I used to talk to some of these guys and they're like, you know what is USCG approved back in the day was very loose. Like there were ways around it. Like, and they were saying the stuff that I would complain about because, you know, these marine electricians, they come out here and they just would rail me with pretty serious, they don't hold back. They don't hold back. Electricians don't hold back, and marine electricians certainly don't hold back on my videos. And they tell me that what I do is, well, I get some praise from them, and then some come by and they're just like, "This is a big crap show," and I'm like, "Dang. Well, how can I do it any better? Like, all I do is like research, and then you rip open a boat, an older boat like a 17-foot tracker or anything, and you're like, dude, this wiring is terrible. Like, what? How did it? If what I'm doing is bad on YouTube, how is this legal?" And then apparently it's legal. Like you could get away with the craziest crap, like non-tin copper wire. Doesn't have to be tin copper to be marine grade, and some other connectors doesn't have to be. It's weird, but like what they preach online is not necessarily what's in a boat. And anybody who's ripped open a boat on this audience knows it. I will tell you that specifically, which is why I have started to give marine electricians who create my videos the finger, because like I know there's a good handful of you that have put out boats like that. Also, the big new thing trending is aircraft mechanics have started trolling my channel. It was the boat builders. They trolled me for using wood, and then they stopped trolling me for I think seemingly obvious reasons. And then it was like the marine electricians started trolling me. And recently, I haven't gotten trolled very much by them. I think they laid off me. Like I put out that final electric video, I think they really laid off me. They're just like, really good video, but you should have said this, just FYI. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. Criticism, fine. Instead of like saying my videos are a crap show. But like now the aircraft mechanics, I think it's kind of makes me proud, right? Like we made our way up all the way to aircraft mechanics, super talented, elite mechanics. You got to be an elite mechanic to be an aircraft mechanic. I'm sorry, like you got to be up there. And they're like calling me out, saying I'm like a poser and all these things. Like, what am I gonna say to them? I can't talk to me like no, like they're the elites of the top. I just have to take it. I gotta take the hit and take the criticism, right? I just gotta like listen to what they say. I mean, I listened to what everybody else said before I told them to go die in a fire, but like, I just thought it was weird. Like we made ourselves. Like who else is left? Like Elon Musk himself is gonna come? No, probably not. But I just think it's funny. All right, I missed a whole lot of comments here. I'm sorry. Let me read these. All right. Seems like you guys are answering each other's questions respectfully. You know what I love about this audience? It might be small, but you guys are mature. There's not a whole lot of funny business. Super, super chill community we have in the Tiny Boat Nation. Love it. I do. Personally. Huge fan. Okay. All right, just reading some of these. Okay. Ever think about doing oh, okay, we answered that. Yes. We're going to get to it, I promise. I'm going to fly Jeremy out here to Arizona, and we're going to fish, and he's going to help me build one. I'm going to do it. Trolling Motor says it may... Okay. 35 feet? I'll have to look at it, man. But Andrew, trust me, just follow what they say. It's the best thing to do. If you just want to be safe, you can run 6 gauge for everything, but sometimes you lose power that way. Okay. Lithium AGM or lead acid for trolling motor? Well, if you want tried and true consistency that you reasonably know is going to last for a certain amount of time, a trolling motor, I'm sorry. AGM and lead acid are still the most reliable. Lithium, I'm sorry, like they're not reliable. They're not as reliable as I would want. Are they better? Yeah. I mean, if they stayed like consistent, I think that the reliability is not there yet for them. I've had 3 lithiums break on me too. 3, sorry. One Dakota that got turned back for warranty. Thank heaven it was in the first year, because anything after the first year for Dakota, that 10-year warranty is super limited. And then this other guy who actually makes them really good, 2 of them broke on me. I'm not gonna put out his name. It is what it is. I just don't have the faith in lithium. He makes a good battery. Like his had an internal BMS, so you could just read all the statistics in the battery levels on your phone. It was really nice, but they took a crap too. Not a whole lot of faith. You know what I did? I stuck a heavy Group 31 lead acid battery back in my boat. I just dealt with it. But I think if you guys are really running boat length and horsepower restrictions, and that's a big thing for you, which it is for a lot of people, like a 16-foot, 25 horsepower cap out of Illinois, or 14-foot, 15 horsepower cap out of Oklahoma for those tourneys, lithiums are super important, because battery weight just eats up. At that point in time, who cares if your lithium battery only lasts a year? It's still, like, you get the edge. I mean, people like, I think people who do tournaments, they just find ways. You ever asked like a crackhead, like, how they get money for like drugs? No, they just like do it. That's kind of how I feel about people in lithium batteries. Like they just get them because they need them. Like fishing lures too. Fishing in general. Never mind. I'll stop on that. But let me. Angel Lopez, what's going on, man? Thinking of upgrading your 14-foot fiberglass outboard. Was thinking of 20 to 25 horse. Will it take a 25? Most 14-foot boats cap at 20. Just do what's recommended, unless you're going to do some seriously heavy modding, and it's also if it's legal in your state. I guess some of you guys really deal with some serious game and fish Karens. I mean, like no others. So I don't know how serious it is, but over here, I think it's a little looser where I'm at. Just I would stay in the recommended horsepower range. You should be able to gain quite a bit from a 20 horse out of a 14-foot boat. All right, where are we at likes? Where is it at? We're at 6 likes away from hats. 6 likes. Just something to think about. Sorry, my eyes are like getting all bugged out from this thing. Okay, Andrew Nera. For boats that have removable outboard, do you use anything to protect the transom? I personally like to add a little bar that the clamps can't jar off once they get loose. Like if you put a little lip, then if those spindles on the clamps get loose, your trolling motor can never fly off. It can never fly off. Or in that, there's not a whole lot you can do. You can also just, if it needs to come on and off a lot, I would put that mod. If it doesn't need to come on and off a lot, I would just drill through the transom where there's generally mounting holes. If it doesn't have mounting holes, then I don't know what to tell you. Like, definitely make that mod, the lip mod. Get a piece of metal or aluminum and just put it there. You could also put a thicker transom plate there. You could put thick aluminum plates on each side. That we actually make a transom plate specifically for that. If you're having damage to your transom because your frame is fairly thin, or you just have really soft aluminum, we make actually transom plates on our website that just slide right there, and that's exactly what they do. They protect your transom. They protect the actual hull, and you can clamp down on that thing as hard as you want, and well, it'll work. What truss depth are we running for trolling? That's just something you got to play with. It's different for every boat. To tell you anything else different would be to lie. That's for you, Hardy. Richard Clare, National Electrical Code. Oh, man. Richard Clare is in charge of answering all questions for electrical. He knows codes. It's like, that's not mocking you. I'm serious. Can you help me out? Thank you. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. I'm going to keep that. I'm going to look. I wish I had something to write down on. All right. Joshua. Okay, thank you. So does a boss kit with lids come with a rod locker lid? Well, you kind of make the lids in a boss kit or a monster kit. So you can make anything you want. The people who really like the boss kit or the monster kits for Gen X are people who are not fabricating their entire schematics in a CAD design on the computer. They're just like looking at it, and then they go ahead and they make a decision. They kind of frame stuff out as they go. A lot of people are like me, They just frame stuff out as they go. I watch a lot of DIY tubers. They get on the CAD design. They put stuff around the. I was like, why would you do all that? But some people do all that. You can even do that with a Gen X, but I think a Gen X is the beauty about a Gen X kit is just it's super raw. You can make anything. You can make the biggest hatch you've ever seen in your life on purpose, or you can make a bunch of like small hatches, or you could. It just gives you a lot of variation. It gives you enough usable aluminum to do that. We're at 101 likes. We're at 100 likes. Right. Everybody in the chat, if anybody comes in new, I'm just awkwardly going to step away one more time. Be right back to go get the hats. Don't leave. I'll be right there. Wait. Okay. Okay. All right. All right. Who's still here after all that? Okay. Do you guys want like? All right. So you guys want the good news or the bad news? Like, so the good news is that I have the hats. The bad news is I don't know where they're at, but I do know that I have them. I don't have my crap together here. Like I'm just, this is all still kind of new and there's boxes from my office, but so you'll get them. You might not know what they look like, but you're still gonna win them. You're still gonna give away hats. We'll give away 2 hats and some more Dobbins rods vouchers. Give away 2 of each. And then I'm starting to lose my voice. I think I'm talking too much. And we're also going on a series long time ago. Knock, check out, yes. Check out Anthony Jones for sure. He does pretty cool stuff. Pretty good stuff. All right, let's do this here. You're a hat and Dobbins wrongs guy. What's going on, Tim Hahn? We are going to ask questions, and to the best of your ability, that's your chance to win some of these things. Are you guys ready? Okay, good, because I'm not. I actually don't have any questions. Let me think. John, are you still here? Help me out. All right. Actually, I got a good question. All right. So there are 3. So there are 3 people. You're editing. Yuck. I edited it today. It was terrible. But it's, anyways, what is the largest species of fish? I don't know. I can't even answer that question. I can't ask the general the audience that question. Okay, I got one. Recently, I released a bait video of, you know, the progress of the bait and what it caught. And I talked about my personal best fish. How big was it and what was it caught on? My lake PB here. What was my Havasu Lake PB and what was it caught on? It was not a bluefin. I wish. I'm not cool enough to catch a whale shark or a bluefin. Right. No, it was not 12 or 14. Man, you guys are really... Yeah, I love you guys. You guys super inflate my ego. If only those things were true. It was... What kind of swim bait? No, it was not swim bait. No, my actual PB. But I did release... It was a largemouth. It was not a DD. I haven't pulled it. It's really hard to pull a DD out of here as a lake PB. So Chris Wilson's got 8 pound. All right, fine. 8 pound. You get a hat, Chris. But what was it caught on? No, it wasn't caught on the gizzard shad. Not in the crank down. I caught a fairly sizable bass on the crank down gizzard, but it was not the PB. I talked about it at the very, very end of the boat. So any people who watch the whole video are the only ones that are gonna maybe have caught it. No, not the bull shad. Not a swim bait. I've caught a lot of big fish on swim baits. Huge fan of the swim bait, but it didn't catch my PB on a swim bait. Caught it on something else. Yeah, don't mix me up with Milliken. I don't catch fish like that guy. That guy is his own beast. No, I didn't catch my PB on an A rig. Caught some nice fish though. A lure, Jeremy. Really kind of just going out there. What kind of lure? What lure? It's a big thing. Not a chatterbait, not a crankbait. Well, it kind of is a crank. Kind of. A rod and reel. You guys are funny. You guys are hilarious. It was a lipless. All right. Matt's got it. Matt's just winning a lot of stuff. Okay, Matt got the second hat. Matt got the second hat. But here, the questions keep going on. How big was the lipless? How big was it? It was not a regular lipless. No, it was not quite 10 inches. It was bigger than 5 inches. It was giant for sure. Giant's pretty good. You know, Dan, it's pretty funny. Daniel Long is pretty funny. It was a lipless crankbait, but it was... All right, fishing with Gorns got it. Is it 8 inch? Brian, you got it too, man. You guys are right there. Hold on, somebody else got it. Don, man, 3 of you got it. Hold on, let me see this. You know what? Don, you want... Okay, Don, Brian... Don, Brian Brewer, and somebody else, and Fishing with Goran. The 3 of you, all Dobbins Rods gift vouchers. And Angel Lopez, you can get one too. You guys get one too. So, the 4 of you, you can have one. Because the 4 of you kind of, I guess, guessed it. So, and plus those are, so... But don't worry, we'll do more lives if you guys like giveaways. I just got... Next time I'll actually have them here. That way I don't have to awkwardly leave and not find them anyways. So that is a thing. Okay, you guys want one more voucher? One more voucher? We'll do one more. One more. Just one more. What was the rod that I used? I mean, honestly, I don't need specifics, but I need length and weight of the rod. What was the length and the weight of the rod that I throw my giant swim baits and cranks on? And if you, not a champion XP, that's what everybody says, because that's like the actual international king. Dobyns does have the 908 champion, but it is not the Dobyns. It was something else. It was not a 9-foot, but it was close. 7-Eleven? You guys throw swim baits on a 7-Eleven? Like big ones? It was 10 feet. Brandon and Sons, it was 10 foot. 10 foot what? Brandon and Sons, you get one. Just because you guessed the length. But somebody else could still get it. Okay, 10 foot what? You guys tell me the name, and if you guys tell me the name and the weight of the rod. Okay, KNL, you got the weight of the rod. So KNL Outdoors, you get one for guessing the weight. Who guessed? Brandon and Sons get one for guessing the length. What was the brand? One more. What was the brand? Not Duckett. Duckett doesn't make anything cool like that. I mean, maybe they do for like their people, but no, not Okuma. Okuma does make their own swim bait rod line. The Guide Select is a nice rod, but it can't do what these do. 9-pound test line. No, what's going on here? Well, no, not United Composites. Is that even a rod company? It probably is. G Loomis, I wish. No, it's not. Not Shimano, not Abu, not Synchro. None of the mainstream. This is like, it's kind of, you'd have to be watching my videos for a minute, or at least watch the last few, because I gave the guy a shout out. Taipan, there it is. Krosk 111, got it. Taipan rods, got it. What's going on, Nate? There you are. You guys all, if I told you got it, there, I gave like 4 vouchers away for like 1 rod. You guys just guessed little pieces of it. That was like a lot more. I was only gonna give away like 1. You guys got like 5. So thank you guys. If you want, so there's a lot of stuff given away on this channel, but if you gonna win it, you gotta like know what we got going on there. Like, that is for sure. So Cross, you got it. Taipan is my man, dude. He makes a 10-foot swim bait rod, X heavy. So you can get an X heavy like 8-foot rod, or even a 9-foot rod. But they feel like broomsticks, and they're not very sensitive. But if you want one that feels, it's weird, like the butt's like 2 foot long, and the actual length of the rod is 8 feet, versus like a rod only being 5.5 or 6. So the extra rod length plus the extra butt, you can throw that thing forever, much longer without getting tired. You have more power. You can cast it farther, and it doesn't feel like a broomstick. Like, you can actually feel the lure weight. It's sensitive. You can feel it. Very unique rod. Never had anything like it. It's actually the only rods I carry in my boat. I would carry Dobyns too, but when I do my like gear upgrade later for like spring, I'll be getting some Dobyns and trying some of them out. But really, I love Taipan rod. I love the big ones. He custom made those for me though. You can get them. They're expensive, but you can get them. They're nice. Best swim bait rod you'll ever have if you're really serious into throwing big baits. G Loomis makes a 10-foot? No, I don't think they do. Not for the mainstream. 10-foot rods, like, you really start seeing. LDC, I wouldn't. No. Lowdown, dang, I haven't heard of those guys in a while. Those guys did have, like, the cap. They were, like, super, super hyped up rod company for swim baits, but no. Nope. I did not. Never got an LDC rod. I think those are, like, on the wait list. Those are one of those rods, like, you gotta spend a lot of money and wait for a year. Like, you gotta really want one of those rods. But the truth be told, there's X amount of rod makers out there that are just as good and need a little love too. So, man, the boat giveaway is cannot be just done on the live. So whoever wins the boat is gonna have. I don't know what we're gonna do for that. There's probably an email list or something. We're gonna have to figure that out. There's like all kinds of legalities with that crap too, like taxes and stuff. We have to make it a true giveaway. It can't be a raffle. It's got to give it away. Got to figure out how to do it internationally or nationally. Not internationally. I'm not shipping that thing, but like nationally, we'll probably have to drive it somewhere. If somebody wins it on the East Coast, we're gonna have to talk about how that's gonna go down. Like, heaven forbid somebody from New York wins it. I have to drive all the way to New York with that boat. Ugh. I just, ugh. I don't think about it. I don't think about it. Try an 8-foot heavy crank rod. All right, guys. I'm going to go ahead and bounce out. My voice is going. It's cold in here. And I'm hungry. But I got a lot of videos coming up. The budget build's coming up. A few other cool videos are coming up. You guys want the plastic boat? You want the plastic modded kayak? Yeah, I'll go get a Walmart kayak and mod it for you guys. Whatever you guys want to do. But I'm going to catch you guys later. Thank you much for everything. I will see you all in the flip side. Thank you guys for the super chats. I do appreciate it. And I will see you later.